Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Lots to talk about today, actually. I've had a good opportunity, actually, just now to play some Fortnite ballistic mode. I saw this was coming. It completely threw me that it was out so soon. Obviously, it's the beta mode right now. If you guys haven't a chance to play this, I'm kind of hyped. I literally just had back-to-back victories. One was like we were 6-0 down, came back and won 7-6. So I'm buzzing right now because it's fun. Like if you don't know what it is, it's a 5v5 kind of like if you think of like the style of like CS or Valorant or games. I guess kind of more similar to Valorant from an art style point of view. It's ultimately trying to it's defuse and setting down bombs to ultimately win a point. There's only one map right now. I think it's called Striker 10. It's like a kind of construction site basically. It's fun. Do you know what? I definitely recommend giving it a go. The great thing about Fortnite right now is Fortnite just seemed to be giving out so much content so that there is literally something for everyone, so that you can never not want to play the game because your mates are always going to be on there in some capacity, and you'll get a chance to play with them as well, be it in Lego, be it in rocket racing, be it in traditional BR mode or zero build, now ballistic mode. There are so many different ways, not to mention all the creative UEFN stuff that's going to happen as well. So there must be other developers must be looking over their shoulders right now and thinking, okay, obviously there will be some things like we're only kind of in a beta for ballistic mode right now, but you know, those mentioned will be looking over their shoulders thinking, hold on a second here, those potential players of our game are now already playing Fortnite, their mates are already there, and they might just naturally segue to that and keep playing that. So there's definitely it's Fortnite obviously became a game which kind of took the world by storm. The building element was the biggest factor, but now you look at it and it's become so much more than what it originally kind of originally was at the very beginning. So I actually really enjoy ballistic mode. I think if you're into arcade shooters in any capacity, this one felt like kind of more kind of arcadey in that respect. The map's actually very small, so you get a bunch of buddies around. Obviously, there's only one map, so you could come up against, you know, in ranked mode, if you kind of choose to go into ranked, you could come up against some pretty solid opponents pretty fast. However, it's a really good step in the right direction for that ilk or genre of game in the Fortnite stratosphere. So I liked it a lot. Ballistic mode, it just came out, as I say, it's in beta right now. That's why I'm literally out of breath, like, woo! I'm living my best life off the back of that. But if you guys saw yesterday, I actually I came back to the channel with a video which was just me having a chit chat and kind of find a way to kind of start making more on the channel again. So injecting some life back into like proper Dr. Frankenstein in the channel again, and really enjoyed doing it. And it was quick and simple, which is what it's all about for me right now with the restraints of like home life and stuff. But ballistic mode, definitely one to keep my eye on. Obviously, the OG map mode as well, which is another thing that I haven't even had a real chance to play that, even though I really want to. I've been so suckered in by Indiana Jones and the Great Circle. I'm kind of like, I don't know where I'm going. I'm being pulled left, right, and center. So that's that at the moment as well. Read some interesting stuff this morning. I don't know if you guys keeping tabs on like, kind of gaming news and things, but obviously one game that's coming out soon, Assassin's Creed Shadows. A lot of speculation about the game in terms of like, you know, it's been delayed obviously, and people are saying, you know, this is a last chance saloon for the franchise, and you know, Ubisoft have brought it out, and it's like, what's the storyline going to be? Is it going to be what people want? Obviously, it's kind of set in like rural kind of Japan, like, or feudal Japan, sorry, like, you know, kind of samurai kind of era. But I read this morning that they're introducing something into the game called Canon Mode. I don't know if you know what this is or you've heard about this. Canon mode's quite interesting. If you think about a game like Baldur's Gate 3 and games that have really taken the world by storm in terms of like the kind of like the kind of RPG element has really gone to another level now. Kind of you take it in any direction you want to get to where you want to go, and you just play it through and see where it shapes you, where it takes you. That kind of, I guess, like freedom to do that is what's I think really appealing to a lot of people that went back. I've got friends of mine who I know, you know, who played Baldur's Gate 3. Didn't just play it once; they played like 7 different times, and every time changed things, changed the kind of species of character they were, and changed the way in which they went about business, or what they kind of, you know, the kind of direction they wanted to go. Are they going to be a good person or a bad person, magic or melee? You know, all these different things and options. But this canon mode that Assassin's Creed Shadows introduced is basically like here it is. this is the storyline that you need to follow for the most basic, most simple, basic's the wrong word, the most simplistic way in which you can get from A to B in terms of like the story, like arc and the narrative. Like forget all the kind of stuff, that kind of like the side missions or the other extra bits. This is like a much more linear mode where ultimately you're just playing the main story. You're not veering off track. If you're someone, I think this is probably the most appealing people this is for, and it's an option. It's not like an actual thing. I think the game is not based around this. It's an optional mode if you want to go that way. For those who don't really have the time anymore to invest in hours and hours in games, like you play The Witcher 3 for 100 hours, if you haven't got 100 hours and you've got 1 hour across the space of 7 days, for instance, I can definitely see this being more appealing if you want to get through the story and understand the story, particularly if you're an old school Assassin's Creed fan anyway, and you want to go back and revisit, or you want to stick to the storyline. You've played the other games. You want to make sure you focus on exactly what's happening in this particular story, like this narrative. I get that. I get it. However, others are like, but it's not a draw to the game. I don't think there's going to be many people that kind of go, oh, I'm going to get it now because there is a canon mode. I think it's an additional thing that we have, which they've introduced, which I'm interested to see what people think of it, if they're going to kind of like go down that avenue. Like maybe if you're kind of like a trophy hunter in some respect as well, you want to get all those kind of trophies, maybe this is the fastest way to get you from A to B, to get through the main trophies to that kind of end goal of finishing the game and completing it. Obviously you won't get all the kind of side bits, but that's a thing. I read that, I thought it was interesting because it's just not a thing that I remember happening too much. And with an RPG, naturally you think, well, isn't the whole point that you just make it your own? You know, I know there's games that are out there that are relatively more linear, like Black Myth Wukong. Yes, you can make it your own, but there's an element of linearness to it. This feels like very much that. So if you want that, it's good for you. And I understand that. You know, games like Minecraft, for me, I really appreciate Minecraft. I love the freedom there is in Minecraft, but for me, it's not as appealing because I quite like direction. Maybe not direction like spoon-fed to me, but you know what I mean? Like, I like direction. And I find it kind of hard to kind of like jump in with and just creating something out of nothing. I'd rather have like something like a mission to go, yep, accomplished. So this could be for you. That's the thing I read as well. Also, I want to bring up as well, guys, Secret Level. If you've not had a chance to watch this yet, Amazon Prime, the TV show just came out. It's like if you've watched Love, Sex and Robots on Netflix, this kind of short form, kind of different art styled, like kind of like TV kind of content, I thought was excellent. I loved it. I think the first series better than the second. However, Secret Level ultimately are these mini short stories that are extensions or baked into a gaming universe that we all know and love. Okay, so the first episode I just watched was Dungeons and Dragons. The second episode I also watched too, which was Sifu. Okay, I love Sifu so much. I loved that game. I platinumed it. That hidden ending was a pain in the butt, but I got there and I did it. There's tons of there's those voice characters, some Schwarzenegger and all sorts are in there. That, you know, everyone's kind of like lending their voices. There's a Keanu Reeves kind of Armored Core episode. There's tons. I think there's 15 episodes. I think all done with the same production company and working with Amazon. However, the first two were awesome. The first one, the Dungeons and Dragons one, it was only 15 minutes long. The Sifu one only 8 minutes long, so they're really short. But the Dungeons and Dragons, I had absolute goosebumps the whole second part of the episode. So good, and artistically, it's a beautiful looking thing. As I said, like Sifu kind of is like they're quite different. This was an extension of Dungeons and Dragons in a different direction. Sifu was more like this happened kind of in the game, and we're kind of mimicking that, but adding a few little extra bits and kind of like context either side of it. So they're all going to be different, the first two episodes. But I really like the fact that gaming has been kind of celebrated like this, because for someone who's never played games like to that degree, someone might not have played Armored Core or Sifu, whatever it might be. But for them, I think even if you're not a fan of those games or genres, or a gaming fan, massively accessible. Dungeons and Dragons, I appreciate it. I haven't played a ton of it, but like in terms of like the board games and whatnot, but I know the universe of creating, you know, like clerics and creating, you know, kind of warrior builds, whatever it might be, and lumping them all together for a mission. And that alone was enough to get me through the episode to make me think this was absolutely unbelievable. And there's dragons in it. I'm not going to give it for, but oh my God, the visuals were ridiculous. I love the fact that this has come out. I love the fact that this has been kind of given the kind of go ahead to be a thing, because it should be celebrated. Games we know are taken over the world the last decade or so plus now, versus actual traditional movies, TV shows, music even. Like, gaming is where it's at in many ways, and I love the fact that they've kind of found a way to make a really good series, which kind of tickles the universes that we kind of so know and love, or could be something that you're brand new to and really kind of flourishes. I loved it. I thought it was really great and massively recommend that. Thanks for hanging out. Thanks for listening to this. My excitement from ballistic mode all the way through to Assassin's Creed canon mode to a little bit of the old secret level too. And I love the idea of you and your mates being like, what was your favorite secret level? That to me, I love that turn of phrase in itself. What was your favorite secret level? Oh, I had the Dungeons and Dragons one. I like that because I think I've used that so many times. What's your favorite secret level? What's your favorite secret level? Is there an Easter egg or a secret level that you loved in a game that you were like, that was amazing? For me, it's got to be finding the Super Mario 3 whistle that transports you all over the world hopping map. There's 3 whistles, 3 magic whistles. That's technically a secret world behind, you know what I mean? That level where you go behind the actual, you go into the background, behind like the things in the foreground and behind the curtain and find the whistles. Man, I love that stuff. That was mine. Let me know what yours is. Bye for now. Watch Secret Level. It was wicked.